that's something that definitely wanted to hit on. That's why we wanted to reach out to you to begin with, because people need what you're doing.
Okay.
Especially at times like this.
Yes, it's like, you better get yourself together.
Yes.
Oof. And don't look for a new normal.
Uh-huh.
Everybody, look for a new normal, because everybody wanted to go back. You can't go back.
You gotta keep going,
you gotta keep going forward, and you have to figure out what that space is, right? Because if we're looking backwards, we're never going to get to where we need to be, right? We just not, Face masks, we're going to be in those for a while.
Yep.
Even when they say COVID is over, you're going to see people, me, one of them,
oh, yeah.
Everywhere I go. I want to go to the movies. I want to go to concerts.
You want to feel safe.
But I want to feel safe, so I'm going to have my mask on. And that's going to probably be the normal for a lot of people for a long time.
We got to be able to adapt.
That's it. And that's a struggle.
I think a big part of that is being able to adapt is taking care of our mental health, and a lot of people, we don't know how to do it, especially in our community. We aren't well versed in the ways to go about that, or the ways to check on yourself, even if you are experiencing it. And I'm excited about everything that you're doing, the fact that we have you as a resource in this community, and that's why we definitely wanted to get out there to see what you got for us, because we need it. We need it all.
Thank you. It is work, but definitely in terms of the mental health thing, we have to really start looking at it the same way we do physical health.
Yes.
So the same way you go get your yearly physical, or you go to the dentist twice a year, you go to the optometrist twice a year. You need to hit up a therapist.
Checkup.
It needs to be a part of your regular checkup, even if it's 6 weeks out the year. But do that mental health checkup, because you never know what's triggering you, or an area that you thought you were over, and it's not, and it's impacting everything you do, and you can't figure out, and you've repressed it, and it's on an unconscious level, and you can't figure out why things are remaining the same in certain areas, is because you haven't necessarily worked through and processed those things that's blocking you.
That's powerful, man. Like, what are some ways that are like healthy ways, I guess, that we can address those issues? Like when if we find ourselves experiencing that, what are ways that we can tackle that head on?
So I think meditation is one. And it's not necessarily easy, because once you try to shut your mind down, it keeps going. And the key to a good meditation is allowing whatever to come up, and let it go. And then you'll get to a place where it's just kind of silent. And then that's when stuff starts to come up. But within that framework of attempting to meditate, the things that you thought you were over, say, oh, hello, how you doing? So it pops up on you. So that's a good way. I think writing, writing, whatever that needs to come out will come out. You can do journal prompts, exercising, listening to music, drawing, right? You can do meditative drawing or mindfulness drawing. You can have music playing and then just draw. It's not about being, quote unquote, an artist, because a scribble is artwork. People will pay $1 billion for a scribble, right?
That's word right there. Come on now.
So it's just to allow it to be released. Dance it out. Pray it out.
Prayer.
There are hotlines that you can contact, and people will listen to you. Even your doctor. Like, call up your doctor and, and tell them what's going on. But it's important to talk about it, right? And then there are things that you can't talk about, right? Because it's too much emotionally. This is where the dance come in. This is where the art comes in. This is where the yoga and all that good stuff. That's when that stuff comes in. Because
nonverbal ways.
That's it, that nonverbal, because I can process stuff without ever touching it. I'll never have to express it verbally for me not to heal from it. And sometimes people don't understand that either. It's like, well, if you never talk about it, you're not going to heal. Yes, you will. You don't have to.
That's powerful, man. It's been speaking of music. You were talking about your getting through your work playlist with your music, and that's a very powerful tool. And who are we going to be listening to today?
Oh God, the Miss Lauryn Hill.
Yes. Don't forget the Miss.
That's it, Miss Lauryn Hill. That's right. That's it.
Oh, and what's the first Lauryn Hill track we're gonna play today?
I think we should go with, which one did I say? I don't even remember because it's so many.
So Lost Ones,
Lost One.
Ooh, that's what you want to start with?
Yep, let's do it. Hey. Lost Ones.
So
yes.
Tell me about this track. What made you pick Lost Ones?
I chose Lost Ones because we all get lost.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Come on.
We all get lost. We get lost in thought. We get lost in our journey. We get lost in our focus. Mm-hmm. And we just do. And it's important to understand that we will find ourselves. Wow. Right? We will find our purpose. Right? And sometimes those, getting lost is just a detour. I've gotten lost physically and be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that place was there. So when it turns out to be positive. And so being lost doesn't necessarily have to be a negative. Mm-hmm. There can be a positive spin on things. And so we have to be able to see that.
That's it. That's word. Here we go. This is Lost Ones by Miss Lauryn Hill on DORiS Radio. You're listening to WHCP 101.5 FM. Keep it locked. I wanted to ask you about your introduction to Miss Lauryn Hill.
Oh gosh, I came into her presence. I think I'll say she used to be an actress on a soap opera called Young and the Restless, and her character's name was Kira. And she was from New York, and I'm from New York. So
dang, I did not know that. That was always on in my house when I was growing up.
Yeah,
Young and the Restless.
Yeah, so dang. She was on. No, I'm sorry, it's not Young and the Restless. She was on. Oh gosh, it's what is it? I'm trying to think. Hold on, because they took it off. So hold on, I want to. It is As the World Turns.
Oh.
It was As the World Turns, yes, because they took it off. So she was on As the World Turns. And so that's my first introduction. Mm-hmm. And then she was in a video with MC Lyte.
Come on now, famous MC.
That's it. And then she ended up with the Fugees. And so kind of following that path, not sure of like some of the other stuff she's done in between, but those were the introductions. And then Sister Act. So including Sister Act on there, and the way she blew that song out the water. So it was just like, that girl got skills. She's just not an actress. She's not just a dancer, but she can sing and rap.
Right. It's like even musically, she's doing both.
She's doing it all.
She's got vocals
and
she's got bars.
That's it.
And that's crazy, man.
That's it.
Were you a big hip-hop fan in the 90s? I see you got MC Lyte and Fugees on
there. I was a hip-hop head.
Sweet.
Oh, God, yeah. And I still only, I have to say I only still listen to old school hip-hop. I can't, and not to knock, what people are listening to. I don't listen to it. I'm straight and old school 90s
it
and
holds
beyond.
up. It holds the test of time. We were just talking about, the concerts. Y'all got to know about Omeakia's crazy concerts. Tell me about the one with Mary J. Blige and Nas.
Oh, God, that one was just phenomenal. It was just the energy in that space was ridiculous. It was just ridiculous. And they came out in white and just it was just like that king and queen, that royalty. They are hip hop royalty, right?
They really are.
And so they set the stage for what was going to happen. And when I tell you, it was just you couldn't sit down. You were up the whole time. I'm going to sit down. I'm too old for this. That's my jam. So you're up and you're just vibing with all of those people. It was amazing. It was amazing.
And And you've seen Mary J multiple times, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's crazy, man.
Twice within a 12-month period. So saw her twice in a 12-month period because she was touring with Maxwell, and he's just like, whoo, okay? So, like, the love of my life, never met him, but, you know, that vibe he has, you got that Maxwell vibe. Let's just call it what it is. And so, like, he is one of my all-time favorites. And then I love Mary, too. And so I was like, I can't miss this. And then it was Nas. And I was like, Nas and Mary, got to do that one, too. So it's like you can't have enough of a good thing.
For real.
So, and I was like, no, we're going. And I went.
Dang, man. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. I love all of them. And I'm really excited. We got to definitely put some Nas on the playlist. Tell me about your next track. Which one is it going to be?
So my next track is going to be Miseducation.
Miseducation.
And I think this is important because there's a lot of misinformation.
Yes, come on.
On so many levels, on so many things, especially in terms of the African American community.
Yes.
And the Latin community, right? And then the Native community. There is so much mis or under education in this area. And I think it is a disservice when those cultures are not included in the mainstream education. And so when you're looking at U.S. history being taught from pre-K through 12, it's more European American based. People of color are not necessarily included. And when they are, it is misinformation and miseducation. And it's imperative that when we talk about we want to hold people to be truthful and honest, then we need to be honest about the history of the people, right? You know, children will learn that the only reason why you have traffic lights is because of black man. The reason why you have GPS is because of black woman. The reason why you have an internet is because of black woman. You have a super soaker because of a black man. You have a refrigerator and you have an AC in your car in your house because of a black man. That's science. Why is that not taught in science class?
Right, man. Like, it's completely missing from our current public school system.
It's missing, yeah.
That type of information, and it should be celebrated not even just for Black History Month, but year round. These are things that we should always be discussing, and
That's it.
What are some ways that we can go about, finding supplemental education? I know we talked about the Expo that you have coming up. Tell us about that.
All right. So for this year, the Expo is going to be virtual. Thank you, COVID. So we're not going to have as many pull-out sessions that we typically have, but we're going to do art with Miss Sarah. She is yes, sir. So she is a teacher at Masons Lane Middle School, and Miss Ashley Cornish is actually going to do some virtual gymnastic demonstrations. And she did gymnastics at the YMCA for about 2 or 3 years. And I think COVID was kind of put a pause to that for her. We're going to have some youth-based entertainment as well. And then we're going to have some topics from DCTC. So one of the people over there is going to interview some of the kids that's in the program. I hate kids. Not to say kids, young people, youth. I don't like to use the term kids, so I'm sorry. But I catch myself every once in a while. So it's going to be talking with some of the young people in the program to get more children in the program at DCTC because it is so underutilized. And I think it's important for children to understand what a trade can do for you.
Yes.
You know, you can come out of school making like $35 an hour, so making more than your parent without being in debt. A full career. And if you choose to do something else later, you can because you've made all this money up front. You know, I wish somebody had told me that. You have options, right? Diversify your options. And so that's what we want to do. We want to empower the youth. right? And I think it's imperative for adults to empower youth. And so in terms of cultural pieces, it's meeting people of different races, right? Read books from authors of different cultures. Watch different documentaries. Watch movies that is not like 99.9% European American, right? You want to diversify that, because when you do that, you begin to normalize and have empathy and compassion for people, right?
Create some understanding.
Some understanding, right? Because there's layers. But if I am not introduced, if I am not immersed, if I am not connected, I can think about people how I choose to, because I don't have the information to see them differently.
Wow, man. Thank you so much. We got to stay educated, get educated, and continue being educated. Yes. And let's go in with Miseducation by Miss Lauryn Hill. This is DORiS Radio on WHCP 101.5. So Miss Omeakia, tell us about, before we started, well, we're discussing like mental health questions and mental health checkup questions and ways that, we can be proactive about taking care of our mental health. And you've provided us with some questions that I think will be useful for the audience that we can use to, take care of ourselves and, be an advocate.
Yes. And so I think one of them is, who do I go to for support, right? Who's my support system, and what does that look like? And support is not people who watch you crash and burn and celebrate your crash and burn. Those are the people who are going to question and probe, right? Why are you doing that? Are you okay? When was the last time you ate? That's support, right? And so then that's the next question. When was the last time did you eat? When are you eating? What are you eating, right? And when I say eating, it's so many layers to that, because we are what we eat, what we're listening to, right? What we're watching, right? What are we ingesting, right? And so those things play a huge role in our mental health as well. And so there are times where certain music is appropriate, and there are times when it's not, or certain movies are appropriate and they're not. It just depends on the headspace that we're in, right? What are my sleeping habits? What is the average hours of sleep that I need to be healthy? And it's different for every person, right? For little people, and that's what I call children, it's little people. So for little people, they need up to like almost 12 hours of sleep, right? Teenagers, it's the same, but they start school so early, so they go to bed so late, so it's just cutting in. They're operating on like 4 hours of sleep, and that's why they're grumpy and irritable and things like that, because they haven't gotten sleep. And for us old heads, we need an average of 6 to 8 hours of sleep. You can sleep too much, and it's going to make you groggy and stuff, or you can not get enough sleep. And if you're sleeping too much, then we have to start asking, like, are you exhausted, or is this signs of depression, right? These are some of the things that we really need to start asking ourselves. And what does stress look like for me? So when I get stressed, how am I eating? Am I pacing? Am I smoking? Am I drinking? Do I dance it out? Is my hair falling out? Like, am I having irritable bowel syndrome issues? And a lot of times people don't look into that. And sometimes that's examination of self. And we don't know how, right? We don't necessarily know how, because sometimes when we say we're sick, people think we're making excuses and downplaying it, or, get it together, be strong. I don't want to be strong, right? And so it's okay not to be strong. It is 100% okay not to be strong, because even Superman has kryptonite. And so he is he's supposed to be the strongest. And kryptonite will shut him down. So we all have our kryptonite. And so we need to make sure that we are aware of what that is, and make sure that we're doing the things that we need to protect ourselves from it. Yeah.
Thank you, Queen.
You're welcome, King.
I'm very, very excited about the art expo, the business expo, the fitness. Like, this is like a lot of cool ways, that you guys are, tackling self-care. I think all of those aspects that you brought up are very important. Educating yourself, staying fit, staying active, looking at what you're doing, looking at what you're eating, and how it's affecting you. These are all such a really cool way. It seems like it's hitting from all aspects, and so definitely get out there, support. We'll be posting the links and sharing those. Make sure you guys get connected, get a part of this business expo, and stay up to date on what you guys have coming next, because this is a really powerful outlet that's an excellent resource for the community, and so I'm excited.
Thank you.
This is awesome, man. What we got next from Miss Lauryn Hill?
Superstar, because each of us are stars at the end of the day.
That's it.
Yes. Shine, baby, shine. Like, you better not let nobody dim your light.
That's it.
We are all, we shine. Like, even if you look up at the stars at night, they are all shining bright, right?
Yep.
All of them. And not one is outshining the other, right? They know its place. It's all together, right? And if we shine bright together, we could do so many good things.
That's it.
And that's it. And I think everybody needs to know that, and not allow people to convince you that you can't shine.
Yeah.
You need to shine, and brightly.
You need to shine and brightly. Yes, man. And you want to introduce her? Final track by Miss Lauryn Hill.
So it is going to be Superstar by Miss Lauryn Hill.
Thank you so much, Miss Omeakia Jackson. And
Thank
y'all
you.
listening to DORiS on WHCP 101.5 FM. Keep it locked. Hey.
Thank you.